All right, let's get into it with another Goat Games trade-in video. This time we've got some PS3 games in here, including the sexy Armored Core 4. A game that has jumped up quite a bit in price due to Armored Core 6 coming out, but honestly, the Armored Core series has always been awesome. Giant mechs fighting each other. I'm very excited for Armored Core 6. Undoubtedly, a lot of other people are too. Here we got Metal Gear Solid 4 for the PS3. Very infamous slash famous game. It's a big return for Metal Gear Solid, and honestly, we thought it was going to be the last Metal Gear Solid game to come out for quite a while there. Little Big Planet, another great game here. But yeah, for Metal Gear Solid 4, I remember this period where we were like, this is it, guys. This is the last Metal Gear Solid game that will ever come out. And it was a pretty big deal. And Metal Gear Solid 4 was mixed for a lot of people, but honestly, I think it's a great game. Just like this game here, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. This is one of the early HD collections. I know you see them everywhere now, but people forget that I got started on the PS3. And the Metal Gear HD Collection was like one of the first ones where people were like, holy crap, I can have Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and whatever other game they had in there, the PSP game, and it was a big deal at the time. And we're just flying through some more PS3 games here. Ratchet and Clank, Ninja Gaiden Sigma, another great game. I never played these newer Ratchet and Clank games. I only played the original Ratchet and Clank, but I do want to go back and play them one day. Resistance: Fall of Man. Oh boy. Now here's a good first-person shooter. Awesome stuff. A lot of fun. And honestly, guys, this is the time to get in on these PS3 games because these games are super, super cheap still. Very easy to just go into a store and pick up a load of games for really cheap these days. Even expensive PS3 games are pretty cheap compared to modern games and compared to other retro games. So definitely want to jump on that when you guys still can. Here's one of my favorites coming up here. Not Sonic Sega All Stars Racing, though. I will give it credit for having Samba de Amigo in a racing game. Although actually they announced that it was Samba de Amigo, didn't they? But this right here, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. And let me tell you, Sonic ain't lying because this is the Ultimate Genesis Collection right here. All of the Phantasy Star games, all three of the Sonic games, and pretty much anything you could want from the Genesis right there on the PS3. Good stuff to pick up for sure. Here's something a lot of people forgot about. The Twisted Metal Return. Twisted Metal, very big on the PS1 and also on the PS2. Well, it was asleep for a long time there, and then they brought it back for the PS3. Very, very briefly. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that was a huge release when it first came out. Valkyria Chronicles here is really fun strategy RPG. Great stuff. World Series of Poker 2008 Battle for the Bracelets. Naturally an amazing game as well. And really, PS3, honestly, looking back, PS3 is pretty solid. I gotta admit that it was the start of more of these cinematic type of games, and it was a big explosion in terms of the industry. A lot of new players coming in. You know, games like Call of Duty brought in a ton of people. But looking back, there's a lot of solid games for the PS3, and I'm definitely glad I went through a lot of them. Here's another awesome series, Dead Space. Man, when are we getting Dead Space 4? We got the new Dead Space remake, but dude, Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. We got the whole trilogy right here. Awesome survival horror games for the PS3 when they really weren't making that many survival horror games. And it came from EA. I only played the first one, but I've always wanted to play 2 and 3. Here we got Dynasty Warriors Gundam, because obviously this is the greatest idea ever. Just take Dynasty Warriors and cross it with the Gundam robots. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. If you just want to run around as a Gundam and kill things, dude, go for it. Oblivion, Skyrim, those are people's like favorite games ever. And they're like $5 on the PS3. Here's just a bunch more awesome PS3 games. Honestly, guys, you got to check it out, and you got to check out the store. All sorts of stuff coming in all the time. And hey, if you're into streaming, check us out every weekday from 4 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern. We stream every weekday, and we play a lot of these old classic games. So come swing by. It's a lot of fun. Take it easy, guys.